Next up, we have something called acres. On the outskirts of San Antonio and Austin and Houston, there are large areas in the middle of nowhere with nothing but huge concrete and glass office buildings and asphalt parking lots as far as the eye can see. A lot of these are medical offices, but they're not part of any community. They're not part of any neighborhood. No one actually lives there. And once, when I went there with my wife and I was waiting while she was, doing what she was doing, I looked at this and it just struck me as such a strange alien thing to have all these buildings that weren't really part of any real community and had no humanity to them, except from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So that prompted this poem called Acres. Acres of tan, of copper, of cream, concrete and stone rectangles, punctuated by walls of smoked glass, miles beyond the city's outer loop, nested into the sand, on top of a honeycombed limestone matrix where our water supply waits to be replenished. Dusty white medical supply minivans and upscale Japanese sedans with parking decals on their gray-black tinted windows. Headed for buildings I cannot access and neighborhoods I cannot walk to. Only the occasional car that didn't pass inspection or lost soul on foot reminds me that I'm not watching, I'm participating. Compact halogen parking lot lights atop square espresso black 30-foot brushed metal poles. Empty Via Metropolitan transit buses powered by green energy. Chirping beeps from reversing trucks somewhere beyond sight. 3 weathered oaks left alone between the medians, dating from when the French claimed Texas. Gated communities carved into the hills on the western horizon. American cheese food product microwaved and melted into the crevices of previously frozen broccoli tips, served on Southwest-themed paper plates alongside takeout brisket and canned cream corn, eaten by those family members able to make it. These acres once grew something and fed someone. Now, the structures, the vehicles, and the worker bees sit on top with the security of someone in leather-soled shoes navigating an ice skating rink, with skin broken among the towers in the desert. No ideas, only things. There's acres. And then my final piece today is a recent thing called Worried Men and Wooden Soldiers. I have a couple of these with me, so if you would like one, the chapbooks are only $3. I'll set you up with one after the reading. Despite all the technological advances that we've had in recent years and positive things on the front of gay rights and a few other issues, in my humble opinion, these are not good times in many ways that we're living through right now. The economy, workers' rights, domestic surveillance that would make Richard Nixon blush, and all the other things that are going on. The military-industrial complex, the permanent wars that we have, etc. Those latter things are what Worried Men and Wooden Soldiers deals with. I have a refrain here after the second, fourth, and sixth sections that use the term worried men and wooden soldiers in different contexts. But anyway, this is kind of like my core sample of America 2012. No, excuse me, we're in 2013 now, and this was just written, so 2013. Worried Men and Wooden Soldiers. We've adapted to the fleas and the no-benefit part-time jobs in the service sector, and the social construct where more ID and background checks are required for a library card than a semi-automatic rifle. The postcards arrived back home long after the vacation was over. The nightly sandpaper screech of the mating frogs in the abandoned pool behind the house next door tints our dreams and inserts a new thread of images into the mix. In my case, a dye drop of sordid, sensationalized B-movie sour bites and imposter complex scenarios. Too many travelers broken down or wiped out on Great Gatsby Curve, wearing cheap clothes dyed with the blood and tears of abused workers in countries where our tourists don't visit. My cousin from Wichita Falls crashing on the couch until he finds another job, explains that he's tranced, not stoned. Gang tattoos on his neck, a cattle brand identifying his owner. Buddha bowls full of speech and circumstance. Sitting alongside worried men and wooden soldiers. Meeting under an oak tree, believing ourselves to be heroes to our valets. Flaws and bruises airbrushed away with a coat of baconaise. Character armor separating us from ourselves. Fetus protected, child abandoned. Governor Ultrasound leads the charge, drunk on Alabama feeling, dressed in manatee gray. They inflate you with images of possessions, and then execute you when you rob the goodie train. Me, I'm slipping around with Jolie Blonde, sleeping by the light of a red moon while the Tommyknockers try on invisibility cloaks. You're not allowed to emerge fully formed out of nowhere. They'll rhapsodize over work you did years ago that's now repackaged that someone else is making money off of, but ignore your present activity. Reminded of our cast by worried men and wooden soldiers. Thursday night, happy hour at the Phoenix Saloon, New Braunfels, Texas. The talent playing for tips sings original songs, tinged with Texas texture and reality, to a crowd of 50, drinking, sharing gossip, tuning him out. He could be Waylon or Hank, but he's not. He's Jeremiah something or other, truth teller. And after the originals fall on deaf ears, he closes with Stand By Me. I will, brother. The troops are drinking to forget, but I can't forget that we're going broke creating enemies to whom we can consign all of our worst qualities, and creating them faster than we can kill them. We're being drug tested again tomorrow, but not for the opiates of consensus reality and manufactured consent. Addressed not by our names, but by our function, until we wear out. Marinated in flop sweat, sauteed in bombast. The spotlight shines on those who've fallen off the merry-go-round. It's meant to make an example of them, and there's no incentive to look away. High on incontinent fever dreams of exceptionalism and empire, they create a wasteland, fill it with a genetically modified buffet and designer babies, and call it peace. Kept in place by worried men and wooden soldiers. Thank you.